Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs, and...
I don't know what to do. I'm shaking. I was almost crying. My reaction. It's almost uploaded. You guys will see it. I'm just pacing back and forth. I don't even know if this is real life. Is this fucking real life? Because I have no fucking idea.
Okay, guys, calm down. We've all heard the news by now. It's okay if you could...
This is gonna be the greatest year of my life. This is just gonna be the greatest year. Hashtag, just play Gaiden, bro. Fire Emblem Echoes! Fuck me!
Just calm the fuck down. We know that...
Gaiden's being remade!
Oh, okay, Jesus, man. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever be so excited about the release of a Fire Emblem game. Not even me. Still, let us talk about one of the 3 newly announced Fire Emblem games, Fire Emblem Echoes. In this video, I will be sharing with you guys all the information that has been released so far regarding this new game, and give my opinions on it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So, first of all, let's start by addressing the 2 most important things. Number 1, the release date. It's already been announced. On May the 19th, 2017, that's only 4 months from now, the game will come out. Now, I'm not sure if May 19th is the Japanese official release date, the North American or European release date, but considering how Fates went, chances are that North America might have to wait a couple of extra months before they can get their hands on the game, and Europe might sadly have to wait even longer. Second of all, this game will come out on the 3DS. Yes, you heard me correctly. Not the Nintendo Switch, the 3DS. They announced another Fire Emblem game which will be out on the Switch, but Fire Emblem Echoes will only be available on the good old 3DS. This means that a capture card is going to be required if you want to make a proper quality Let's Play of this game. Let's begin by talking about the story. In the trailer, they say that this game is inspired by Gaiden, but judging by the footage shown, it seems to be an exact remake, with the story being almost identical, though they will surely flesh out a lot of the backstory and characters by adding additional dialogue. Still, it is difficult to know exactly how much they are going to change. Now, I gotta say that I did not expect Nintendo to release another remake of a Fire Emblem game, especially considering how much damage Fire Emblem 11 Shadow Dragon and Fire Emblem 12 Heroes of Light and Shadow did to the franchise. If there were to be a remake, I was sure it was going to be either Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War, or maybe the Tellius series, but they actually went along and remade one of the least known Fire Emblem games ever, often referred to as the black sheep of the franchise, which is an incredibly bold move on their part. While Gaiden certainly has garnered a lot of popularity over the years, as many veterans of the series have started realizing how far it actually was ahead of its time, I never expected Nintendo to actually follow up on the trend. This is actually a super risky move on their part, as most regular Fire Emblem fans probably have never even heard of it. Moving on further into the trailer, we get to see some of the gameplay features. While the graphics sorta resemble a more simplified version of the Fates engine, they have clearly made an effort to make the game look different from both Awakening and Fates. It's literally as if the 2 latest games in the franchise had a love child with Gaiden, and they've really managed to make the aesthetics blend together to give it an old school look, yet new and fresh, which I actually really enjoy. During the trailer, there were 2 features I did not see, and I'm actually quite hyped for it. Allow me to explain. The first being pair up. We did not see any examples of units pairing up in the trailer. While this certainly doesn't mean Echoes won't feature the pair-up mechanic, it could be that they are actually going to attempt to move away from it. The pair-up mechanic is something that they pushed very hard in Awakening and Fates, but many Fire Emblem fans actually weren't super fond of it at all, and some even went out of their way to avoid using it completely, as they felt it dumbed down the game. While I hope that Echoes introduce some new and awesome features that we haven't seen before, a game without pair-up actually sounds extremely refreshing, and I really hope they try it. Secondly, I did not see any mention of an avatar. Just like pair-ups, the avatar mechanic, aka the ability to self-insert a self-made character into the game, is something that Awakening and Fates pushed exceptionally hard, and that too is something that the fanbase in general has started to reject. If Fire Emblem Echoes actually dare not to include an avatar, and rather have the focus of the story be on the 2 main characters, Alm and Celica, I think we could actually see a much improved Fire Emblem experience that caters less to fan service and more to players who actually want to experience a legit story. Though, if I am to be completely honest, my expectations are not very high in this regard, as Nintendo have shown repeatedly that blatant fan service sells, and I doubt they are going to move away from such mechanics anytime soon. Speaking of the main characters, let's have a brief look at the two protagonists of the game, Alm and Celica. I gotta be honest, they look absolutely amazing. After Awakening released artwork of them that literally made fans cry out in outrage, it's good to see that the artists of Echoes have done these characters justice. Alm looks a little slimmer and a little sharper and wears heavy armor just like in his official Gaiden art. Celica looks fucking gorgeous, and without hardly showing any skin, she would actually easily make it into my top 10 Fire Emblem babes lists. Yes, I'm going to publish that list soon, shut up. Either way, these lords have potential to be insanely well made if done right, and in Gaiden they had a lot of chemistry as well as a fiery relationship, and I hope that Echoes will elaborate on this without changing it up too much. Now, let's continue to talk about some of the new features we saw in the trailer. It seems like you actually will be able to move around in dungeons from a third-person perspective, and this way you can run into random encounters which will start a battle with monsters. You can also locate treasures and other hidden secrets this way. This is of course not a new mechanic per se, as it is taken straight out of Gaiden, though back then we simply saw it from an overland perspective, whereas now we will be able to explore Gaiden's dungeons in 3D. This is a mechanic that has potential to be amazing, but if done wrong, it could also end up being extremely annoying. Gaiden's dungeon crawling was never a huge part of its gameplay, so I hope that they don't go too far out of their way to make this massive dungeon crawl that takes forever, but I certainly am excited to see the feature. The trailer also featured a flexible promotion system akin to that of Gaiden, allowing you to promote units to many different classes via the use of shrines, often found deep within dungeons and caves. This branch promotion system is one of the reasons so many players felt Gaiden was way ahead of its time, as it wasn't reintroduced into the game until Fire Emblem VIII: The Sacred Stones, 12 years later, and has, since then, almost been a staple feature of most of the newer Fire Emblem games. This also goes for the villager classes, which are units that start out weak, but can later promote and become some of the strongest soldiers in your army, a feature that wasn't brought back to the series until Awakening 20 years later, and is now considered a very popular aspect of the game, with characters like Donald and Mosu being extremely popular with the fans. In addition to these features, we also know pretty much for sure that Gaiden will have monsters, a feature Sacred Stones also borrowed directly from it. We already saw Celica fighting a zombie dragon in the trailer, as well as a glimpse of an underground random encounter against the Walking Dead, and you can be sure that we will see the return of many classic monsters from Gaiden, such as the gargoyles, liches, and many more. All these little things that Gaiden did so much earlier than any other Fire Emblem game is mainly what has given it so much attention in the later years. Despite being on the old, clunky and outdated NES, veterans all over the Fire Emblem community continues to praise Gaiden for its amazing innovation for its time, and that is probably what Nintendo sees in the game as well, and why it wants to remake it. Anything from here on out will simply be speculation, as I have analyzed the trailer as much as I possibly can. While I am hesitant to jump on the hype wagon for new installments of Fire Emblem, as both Awakening and Fates have both disappointed me greatly, I cannot help but be moved by Nintendo's obvious catering to an older and much more mature audience. I mean, who honestly in their wildest dreams could ever have thought that they would remake Gaiden in 2017? I still find it very hard to believe. The question that lingers inside me right now is whether Nintendo is going to tread down the same path as Awakening and Fates did, where they focus more on fan service rather than building an actual engaging world and story. A part of me feels that they may be interested in taking the franchise back to a more serious platform, but this speculation will have to wait until a future video. Right now, I say we don't worry too much about the things that can go wrong, and let's just be happy that we have another Fire Emblem game on the horizon. Oh wait, we actually have 3 Fire Emblem games on the horizon. Although, to be perfectly honest, the other 2 doesn't excite me as much as this one. Fire Emblem Echoes is clearly the big deal here, and I can't wait to make many more videos about it as more information gets leaked to the public. Before I end this review, I would like to showcase a particular video made by my good friend Gast. He actually made a plot review of Gaiden long before he ever knew they were going to do a remake of it. I highly recommend you guys go back and watch it, because it's pretty darn good, though the best thing to do would probably be to go back and play Gaiden yourselves. I will for sure be trying to complete a let's play of the game before May 19th, and who knows, maybe I'll get Gast to join me on co-commentary. Until then, expect a lot more Fire Emblem content on this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment, and tell me what you think about this new installment in the series. Do you like it? What are you hoping to see in Fire Emblem Echoes, and what are some of the mistakes you hope Nintendo will avoid with the release of this game? If you find these videos interesting, consider subscribing to my channel, as you will be informed whenever new videos are released. Also, consider joining my closed Facebook group Fort Manx, as well as my Discord server, and follow me on Twitter. You can find links to all these sites in the video description. Until next time, my name has been Manx, thank you for watching my video, and as always, I'll see you guys again real soon. Goodbye!